battle for Velitnas, a Ukrainian tactical masterstroke. The sun barely pierces the thick, heavy fog over the fields of Velitnus. It is the perfect cover, an invitation for Russian forces to advance undetected. For days, the 110th Ukrainian Mechanized Brigade and their allied units have braced for this moment. Ukrainian reconnaissance drones hum quietly overhead, their electronic eyes scanning every inch of the battlefield. Every shadow is a potential threat. Through the haze, the faint rumble of engines grows louder. Russian armored columns moving cautiously, hoping to exploit the poor visibility. But Ukrainian forces are ready. Analysts pore over drone feeds in real time, identifying the approaching vehicles. Commanders issue quiet, decisive orders. The battlefield is about to explode into chaos. The Russian Convoy, a mix of T-72 tanks, BMP infantry fighting vehicles, and lightly armored personnel carriers, moves in staggered formation. Their operators believe the fog and night provide protection. What they do not realize is that their every step is being mapped, their route calculated. Ukrainian engineers, days earlier, had meticulously laid anti-tank mines along likely approach routes. The moment of reckoning comes when the lead tank strikes the first mine. A thunderous explosion tears through the mist, sending a shockwave that rattles the steel beast. Still, the tank lumbers forward, its thick armor holding. But as the second and third mines detonate in rapid succession, its advance falters. Smoke pours from its shattered tracks. The trap is sprung. High above, a Ukrainian FPV first-person drone operator locks onto the wounded tank. With precision honed by endless hours of training, the operator guides a kamikaze drone toward the crippled vehicle. The first strike hits the turret with a sharp crack. The second drone plunges through an open hatch, delivering a catastrophic internal explosion. The tank burns. The Russian column stalls in confusion. Ukrainian M777 howitzers, already ranged on the convoy's position, begin their lethal chorus. Shells rain down with merciless precision, detonating around the immobilized vehicles. Russian infantry scramble for cover, but there is nowhere to hide. The relentless barrage shreds their formation. From concealed positions, Javelin and Stugnapep operators strike the remaining vehicles. The second tank erupts in a fireball. A BMP attempting to reverse out of the kill zone is hit next. Its occupants never escape. Panic sets in among the Russian troops. Some attempt to retreat into the tree line, but Ukrainian UAVs track their every movement. Drone operators release additional kamikaze drones which dive through the air like birds of prey. One by one, the scattered soldiers are hunted down. The ambush is complete. What began as a Russian advance ends in a rout. Precision warfare, the unseen hand of UAV. On another section of the front, a Russian reconnaissance unit creeps cautiously through the war-torn contested territory. Their objective is clear: identify weak points in Ukrainian defenses and relay this intelligence back to their command. Every step is deliberate, their boots crunching softly over the frostbitten earth. They move in staggered formation, standard procedure to minimize casualties in the event of an ambush. The soldiers know the risk. This stretch of the battlefield is under constant surveillance, but orders are orders. What they cannot see is the silent threat hovering above them. High in the sky, nearly invisible to the naked eye, a network of Ukrainian reconnaissance drones glides effortlessly. Their high-resolution cameras and thermal imaging systems capture everything, every movement, every breath. Each step the Russian soldiers take is logged. Each maneuver is analyzed in real time by Ukrainian intelligence units miles away. The Ukrainian drone operators, working from concealed bunkers and mobile command posts, observe the Russian patrol with cold precision. Faces lit by the soft glow of monitors, the operators track the enemy's route as they advance toward a derelict farmhouse, a crumbled ruin left in the wake of previous artillery strikes. To the Russian soldiers, it seems like a perfect staging point to regroup and assess the battlefield. But to the Ukrainian command, it is the perfect kill zone. The moment the Russian unit enters the farmhouse, the order is given: strike. A Punisher combat drone, sleek and deadly, lifts off from a nearby forward position. Designed for precision strikes, it is armed with a high explosive payload capable of destroying small structures and enemy personnel. The drone's operator, an experienced soldier with hundreds of successful missions under his belt, calmly guides the Punisher toward its target. Wind speed, trajectory, and atmospheric conditions are adjusted with meticulous care. The drone descends rapidly, cutting through the cold morning air. The Russian soldiers have no warning, no time to react. In a flash, the drone dives straight toward the center of the ruined building. The explosion is instant and devastating. A fireball erupts from the farmhouse, sending debris flying in all directions. Secondary blasts ripple through the structure, hinting at ammunition caches hidden within. The building collapses inward, leaving nothing but smoldering rubble. No one escapes. Yet on the chaotic front lines, the Russians are adapting. Further along the sector, another Ukrainian drone attempts to engage a different infantry patrol. This group, however, is more prepared. Having learned from past losses, these soldiers react with swift efficiency. As soon as the drone appears overhead, they scatter to cover, raising their weapons toward the sky. Trained in emerging counter-drone tactics, they unleash a coordinated volley of small arms fire. Tracers streak through the air, tearing into the drone's fuselage. It shudders, loses altitude, and crashes violently into the dirt, a rare if fleeting victory for the Russian side. But Ukrainian forces have a final answer. HIMARS. Within minutes, precise coordinates are relayed to a mobile HIMARS, high mobility artillery rocket system battery positioned miles away. The system's crew works with mechanical efficiency, loading the rockets and adjusting for range. When the order comes through, the rockets ignite, screaming skyward in brilliant arcs of light. The impact is catastrophic. The first volley strikes with surgical accuracy, engulfing the Russian position in a wall of fire and shrapnel. The earth trembles beneath the blast as armored fragments cut through flesh and steel alike. Survivors attempt to flee, dragging their wounded through the carnage, but the drones remain vigilant, tracking every movement. There is no refuge. A second HIMARS barrage follows, finishing what the first began. By the time the smoke clears, nothing remains of the Russian patrol but broken equipment and charred earth. The battlefield falls silent once again, but Ukrainian UAVs continue their ceaseless watch, ever ready to strike at the next sign of enemy movement. Here, on this unforgiving front, there is no escape from the unseen hand of Ukraine's precision warfare. The bunkers of Zaporizhia, a deadly trap. In the rugged outskirts of Zaporizhia, Ukrainian border guards uncover an extensive network of Russian field bunkers, crude but heavily fortified. Surveillance drones confirm enemy personnel inside. These are not ordinary dugouts, they are supply hubs and command posts. A specialized kamikaze drone unit is dispatched. Their task? Eliminate the bunkers. The first strike targets the largest structure. A drone, its explosive payload primed, dives toward a narrow ventilation shaft. The blast that follows is ferocious. Secondary explosions reveal hidden munitions stored below. The bunker is annihilated. Within hours, a second bunker is located. This time, Ukrainian engineers deploy a loitering munition, a drone designed to circle above until the perfect moment to strike. It hovers patiently before delivering its deadly payload, turning the fortification into rubble. The North Korean presence, a ghost on the battlefield. Near the village of Nikola, a disturbing discovery shakes Ukrainian forces, North Korean mercenaries operating alongside Russian troops. Intelligence reports had hinted at their presence, but confirmation comes during a drone reconnaissance mission. A small North Korean squad attempts to evacuate an injured soldier across a ravaged battlefield. Ukrainian UAV operators track their every move. The first drone strike comes without warning. One mercenary falls instantly, the others scatter, dragging their wounded comrade. Another drone swoops down, targeting the group. The explosion leaves only one survivor, crawling toward a distant forest. He will not make it. Within minutes, a third drone ends his flight. The fall of a Russian convoy, chaos and desperation. Elsewhere, a Russian motorized convoy, mix of armored vehicles and supply trucks, winds its way through contested ground. Ukrainian intelligence had predicted their route days in advance. The ambush begins with a sudden artillery barrage. The lead vehicle is destroyed immediately, blocking the roads. Soldiers dismount in disarray as shells rain down. Their radios crackle with frantic orders, but there is no escape. A lone Russian soldier attempts to flee on foot. A drone spots him, locks on, and ends his flight with a precise strike. Not a single vehicle escapes. The relentless hunt, no sanctuary on the battlefield. In the aftermath of battle, Ukrainian drone teams remain active. ATVs carrying Russian scouts become the next targets. The drones strike swiftly. Each vehicle is destroyed in rapid succession. One by one, the survivors are tracked through dense forests and open fields. No movement goes unnoticed. No soldier is beyond the reach of Ukraine's vigilant eyes. A war fought in shadows, Ukraine's new battlefield doctrine. The battles of Veliki, Zaporizhia, and Nikola demonstrate a new kind of warfare, a war of precision, technology, and unrelenting pursuit. Ukrainian forces, with their advanced UAV capabilities, have transformed the battlefield into a hunting ground where no enemy movement is safe. For every Russian advance, there is a calculated, devastating response. Every retreat is hounded, every defensive position is marked for destruction. The message is clear: Ukraine's eyes are everywhere, and the battlefield belongs to those who control the skies.